Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and happy Saturday. Thank you so much for the love on the steampunk series. I honestly cannot get enough, and today we are working with polymer clay. Now, you all know I'm no polymer clay professional. We do what we do with what we've got at the time. I actually purchased some steampunk themed items. Now, I bought these absolutely beautiful stamps. These have got everything in, like the penny farthing and a gorgeous xylophone, some cogs, keys, you name it, it's in there. I figured we would have fun just embossing some polymer clay, also using the cogs and the metal keys. Now, if you missed that video, I'll link it here, but everything I use in this video is going to be linked down below in my Amazon storefronts. I have a UK, USA and Canada Amazon storefront, and there's a whole section on steampunk and polymer clay. Now, if you know, you know. I've done a few polymer clay videos and I always say I don't have the tools. I don't have the proper tools. Guys, I bought some tools. Yay me. I actually got a set of 3 cutters and an acrylic board and an acrylic roller. Now, these are by no means the most expensive things. These are probably the cheapest I could find on Amazon, and it certainly shows. We have got a bendy tool here. We've got a more rigid one here, which are so sharp, and we've also got like a crinkle cut, you know, like the crinkle cut chips. That's fries, like crinkle cut fries. Yeah, that's what it looks like. 2 are super bendy and 1 isn't, and it also comes with a finger guard. Only 1 finger guard though for the 3 of them. Bit loose, bit flimsy, kind of falls off all the time. Now, my plan was to just honestly have fun. All you see me do here, I literally made a cup of tea, I put the radio on, and I decided to just zone out and just have fun. I wasn't really thinking about the fact that I was filming and the whole process. At first, I just decided roll some clay out, see what these stamps look like, just have a bit of a play before we get serious, before we start to add the colour. And, you know, I was just really just trying to gauge, what are these stamps like? How are they embossing? And I was really happy with how they were looking. So I decided that's it. I don't take long. Like 3 seconds later, let's go. Let's start. All you see me doing here is what you've seen me do before. I've rolled my polymer clay out. Now, you can use dividers either side to make sure that your clay is even depth. And I do that. I actually do that in the video because I did decide I'm not keen on the unevenness of it. And then I'm embossing my stamps down in. I'm already loving it at this point. This is day 1 of having these new tools, and it certainly made a difference. I am around about 1 hour in at this point to just having fun and having a play around. I decided to cut them into squares. I wanted something other than the round cookie cutter, and it was at this exact moment, look away now, my left finger got utterly sliced. Don't be like me, guys. Do not be like me. 5 whole days later, guys. This is 5 whole days later. I am telling you, I cut myself bad enough to have it literally bandaged for 5 days. It's doing well, it's absolutely fine, it's nice and healed. But here's the thing. One of my amazing patrons gave me this tip to just put 2 layers of washi tape across the top of this blade. Now, I didn't realise both edges were so sharp. I really didn't. I thought there was a sharp edge and a non-sharp edge, but we all learn, right? Both sides of this bendy tool were super sharp, and the actual finger protector was hindering my ability to scrape the polymer clay directly off because it was so big and so bulky. It was just getting in the way. That is why I didn't use it. First mistake. Don't be like me. So I took the advice of my patrons and I just put some masking tape along the top, some washi tape along the top, so that I kind of understand where I'm going, and it's a visual reminder to hold the blade in the flat areas and not at the tops where we could hurt ourselves. Okay, back to the video. We live and learn. Here you see me doing it again. So I've rolled out my black polymer clay. Now this is really quite soft, this polymer clay, so I didn't have to spend too long conditioning it. And look, oh my gosh, this bendy tool works a dream, brings it straight up off the acrylic. Now I did at some point feel like it was getting a bit sticky, so I worked around that as well. But next up we are going with the mint. Now the best thing about this kind of craft is that you just go with the flow and relax. The chameleon color shift on the mint is so cool. It goes from purple to green. So when I say go with the flow, I just mean anything goes. That's the thing. Anything goes when it comes to creativity and you. When you're in a zone and you're in your own world, you can pretty much do whatever you want. So I kind of did. I didn't necessarily go into this with a complete set number of rules or outcomes. I wasn't thinking about the outcome. I was thinking more about the process and enjoying the process of just grabbing a load of stuff and just shoving it in. Very much, I guess, what I love. Like just putting a load of stuff down. Like I say stuff, I mean cogs, keys, stamps, and basically embossing your own creations. Unique creations, unique to you that no one else is ever gonna have. So yes, I had some fun playing around with the metal keys, laying them down, pressing them into the clay with no real where is this going, Claire? Where is this going? But guys, I loved it. I loved it so much. I would say, look at this. I absolutely love it. I will say the steampunk hat with the goggles didn't necessarily come out the way I want it, because obviously it's a stamp. So where the eyes are, they're actually bulging. They're bulging, and I'm not a fan. But again, it's all good. There is something so, what's the word? Like romantic, engineering, robust, industrial, which I guess is what steampunk is all about. I love the way multi-layering and layering stamps upon stamps and stamping over areas that you've stamped before come out. Now, next up, fully inspired by Crafty by Tony. Honestly, guys, my good friend Crafty by Tony here on YouTube, she is a serious junk journaler, mixed media artist with stamping. Like, her stamping is next level. And I remember saying in one of her recent videos, like, I do not miss any of her videos at all. And I said, ooh, those stamps are so cool. They're almost like invoice stroke stamps, like stamp as in postage stamps, like airmail, first class, all of this kind of postage theme. I said, how amazing would they look in polymer clay? And she was like, oh, you should try it. So yes, the next few are not necessarily steampunk, but I did use some of these lettering stamps. They're so beautiful, and I don't know what they say, but they are cool. They come out pretty cool. Next up, we're using the cling film technique to just lay down some of these cogs and emboss them in the clay. The reason the cling film is there is because I wouldn't necessarily be able to get these cogs out if I didn't use the cling film. This is just going to give me a nice way to remove all of those cogs. Again, this was advice given to me by you guys a long time ago. I wasn't necessarily a fan of using the cling film. I feel like we got a much better embossing without the cling film. So here you see me just go into town, fill in the blanks, shove it all in there, fill every gap, every millimeter. Anywhere you see a blank space, shove something in it. Like, that is the only rule for this. And look at this. I mean, look at this. What is it? I love it. There is something so special about this. One of my favorite things. Now, my patrons have already seen everything I've made in the next 3 videos coming up. They've already seen the results. And it was so many of my patrons who said, oh my gosh, I've cut myself before. I've cut myself before. So I'm not happy that they hurt themselves, but I'm also grateful that they told me that, because it is a beginner error. And I'm guessing you could be doing polymer clay for years and years and years and still give yourself a bit of a cut. But yes, their support was everything when it came to these, and they really loved the way I'd embossed so much. This one here messed right up. Like, it was so stuck to the acrylic, so stuck. I couldn't get it back off, so I did it again. And look at this. I absolutely love it. I love it so much. If I could do something like this, but like in A4, can you imagine? A whole A4 sheet to emboss like crazy, like shove it all in there, go wild, and then create like a book cover, like a ring binder folder cover. How cool would that be? My next method then was to dust the backs. It really just helped me get them off of the acrylic block. Now, bearing in mind my acrylic block is super tiny, I could have done with a much bigger one, but how pretty. I love that first class stamp so much. I decided to go over the whole thing with the first class stamp so that we've got that running through all of the cuts that I make. And again, how you cut, where you cut, doesn't matter. Completely up to you. I'm just obsessed. I've said it before in previous videos. The relaxation this brings is next level. It's freedom. Absolute freedom to just put the radio on, get the clay out, forget that you're filming, and just go for it. Now, here I thought, let me just emboss one of the metal cogs into the polymer clay and see what it looks like. Just one, no cling film. And then once I pushed it in, I thought, wait, can we leave that in there? Like, can we put that in the oven as well? And then I was thinking, why not? It's metal. It's metal. I'm sure thousands of people have done it. We must try it, right? We must try it. Health and safety got out the window, right? I'm going to cook my dinner in this oven afterwards. Not good. I actually did give the oven a clean though. I have to say, guys, it did make me worry. So I did clean my oven before using it after I made this video, which is why I don't do much polymer clay, because I'm not all about that oven cleaning life. Anyway, back to the video. I shoved a coin in and I shoved a cog in and I proper pressed them down in, like really shoved them in the hopes that they would just stay there through the baking process and then we could seal them in. And I just thought, how cool would that look? Here they all are together. I made a combination. Some of them are more wow than others. You know, again, this is not something I do that often, but loving, absolutely loving. Now I am going to finish them off with UV resin from Vista. This is their Vista Lumen. Now, what I usually do with my polymer clay creations, I usually flood them, get in a mess, it spills over, it just gets sticky, and it's just wild. So I decided to just take my time on this one. I'm going to use some embellishing wax, some metallic embellishing wax, because the purples, I think that's plum chameleon powder. The purple ones that you see on screen, they came out kind of dull. I can't really see any color shifting going on, so I don't know if it's just that they don't interact nicely with the polymer clay, whereas all the other colors definitely have some color shift going on. So I figured I would add some embellishing wax just to the raised surfaces, just to elevate them somewhat, bring them alive a little bit, and just be able to see a lot more detail and more visual interest. Love this one. And it really highlights where it says first class. You can read it so much easier. So much fun. This stuff, oh my gosh, it smells incredible. I'm not sure I should be saying that, but it does. This huge block here, I've got absolutely nothing to, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Like, I don't know where I was going with this. It's massive. Like, could it be a fridge magnet maybe? These probably all could be fridge magnets. Okay. This is actually 2 days later. So it took me a while to get back to this, but I really wanted to make sure that wax was fully dried and everything was okay before I got back to actually top coating them. First coat of UV resin is going on. Now, hindsight is a wonderful thing. I have just done a huge Temu haul where I bought some micro brushes. Why I wasn't using them here, I don't know. But instead I decided to sacrifice a paintbrush and use that to coat them. Now the first thing I'm doing is just giving them a really thin coat. I usually go proper in, like I go all in and I just flood them, get myself in a mess. But I did decide, because I'm so in love with these and I do need to learn to grow up and have patience and adult, I'm gonna go slowly. I'm going to do a couple of layers on each of these ones with the embedded metal pieces, just because I love them so much and I want them to have the best outcome. I think this was layer number 3. I think I did 4 layers on each. Again, that is optional. You could do whatever works best for you, but I love this so much. I love this so much. Like this one here, again, it's all very, very Waterworld, Terry Pratchett. And then I was even thinking of Alien. Do you remember Alien, the first movie with Sigourney Weaver? The first movie was the best, hands down. But there's something about the industrial side of it. Reminds me of the inside of a spaceship. Did anyone else get in that vibe? Just me? Is it just me? Or where's my favourite station? In London, Westminster Station is my favourite underground station because it looks like the inside of a spaceship. If anyone else is in London, if you're coming to London, check out Westminster Station. It is literally like the inside of a spaceship. It is stunning. Look at these guys. Look at these. I have no words. I have no words. I love them so much. So some of them got the 2-3 layer treatment. Some of them just got one simple brushed coat. So you can still actually it's very tactile. You can still feel all of the raised bumps and lumps that were created by the stamps. And some of them never even got top coated because I wasn't in the mood. I was over it at this point. I will top coat them at some stage, but they always go into my little box of collections that just need to be finished off. But love them, absolutely love them. And this massive one, the big rectangle, I just love it. It's like having a letter. It is literally like a Polymer Clay letter with intelligible writing. I can't see what any of the stamp says. I'd have to get a proper magnifying glass. But I hope you feel inspired by this. If anything, put the radio on, grab a cuppa, sit down, do polymer for hours, because wow, did I feel relaxed. And that is what it's all about. Let me know if you do polymer clay and let me know what you actually finish them off with. I've seen people dipping polymer clay in like a liquid. Is that a liquid varnish? Or let me know what you do. Let me know if you've enjoyed this. A thumbs up. Do leave a comment down below and I will see you all on Monday's video. Bye.